Take it, Dan.
I will, Steve. Happy Tuesday, everybody. The 25th day of September 2018. Wake up, Wenatchee Valley. Back at it. Dan Kuntz, your host, because it says so right there. You can't put that on the screen unless it's true. Steve Hare, news guy.
Here we are.
We got to do better than that.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, no, it's how about just journalist or something like that?
It's
Wenatchee. We have a new news director. We brought Cal Fitzsimmons on board, as you well know. Cal's been with the team here for about 2-3 weeks. And Cal's our new news director, which takes some of the onus off of Steve. So now you need a new title.
News guy works for me.
Okay, well, it's really your call, I suppose. Cat, by the way.
Just don't call me
Is in control. What?
Johnson.
Okay.
Okay.
You can call me Ray, and you can call me Jay. Whatever happened to Ray J.
I
Johnson?
have no idea.
And Joe got tired after about 5 seconds.
For our younger viewers.
Yeah.
They're saying, what are they talking about?
Great show for you today. I don't normally promise you a 5-star show on this Tuesday. On any Tuesday, we don't promise 5-star shows. That's the case again today. We're not going to promise you a 5-star show. 3.5. Most of it in the back half of the show. Yeah, you can go now. The only reason I'm guaranteeing you 3.5 because the back half of the show was my interview with Sherry Poppy from the Wenatchee Sportsman's Club. The Youth Hunting and Fishing Day is up at the Gun Club in Fancher Heights this Saturday. It's been a huge success. They've teamed up with the Department of Fish and Wildlife, who used to just hold it on their own, and they realized they needed more help. So the Fish and Wildlife went to the Wenatchee Sportsman's Club last year, said, you want to team up with us for this Youth Hunting and Fishing Day, get the kids into it.
Do you need tags to hunt youth?
That's a good question. Well, we'll have that at 5. Anyway, yeah, what's wrong with you, Steve? You're in a fairly impish humor today.
You're one of those moods, I guess.
Okay.
You know, missed a little sleep. So.
It might be the nitrous oxide we're pumping through the HVAC system.
Might be.
I don't know. There you go. So my conversation with Sherry in the second half of the show, provided we're not canceled in the next 28 minutes or so. Good looking forecast for you today. I love this weather. I just love it. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be mild, cool at night, all the way through the week. A little cooler on the weekend. A forecast you're going to like if you like it sunny and mild, and I'm one of those. Also, a friendly reminder, we mentioned this yesterday, today is the day. Sunrise this morning, 6:52. Sunset tonight, 6:52, 12 and 12. And now we start going the other direction. 6:53 tomorrow, 6:50 for sunset, all the way through the winter solstice, which is Friday, December 21st. So beginning today and lasting all the way through the end of December, or late December anyway, the days will be getting shorter.
Also, about the weather. I was reading this morning the National Weather Service has issued its predictions for winter weather. And we have a moderate El Nino this year that they say will bring us a drier and warmer winter. And it's basically just a wide-ranging, all-encompassing northwest prediction, so it's not specific to any region.
About a 70% chance, I think, of an El Nino is what they mentioned.
They're saying a moderate El Nino
So,
with drier and warmer conditions this winter. So.
well, nothing wrong with this forecast. You're going to like it. I'm going to see if I can cut out of here sometime this week and go golfing, but I seriously doubt it. We have such a jam-packed week going on. We got volleyball tonight, Wenatchee and Eastmont. We'll do battle at the Eastmont Gymnasium. We'll have that live. Then coming up, we got the Autumn Leaf Festival parade coming up on Saturday. We got football on Friday night. Next week, on October 3rd, I'll be doing a live broadcast from Fieldstone, the new memory care facility opening up here in Wenatchee. Lots of things going on for the NCAA Life team.
Boy.
So.
And today's voter registration day.
It is voter registration day because election day is only, geez, it's coming up anyway.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras on a crystal clear, beautiful Tuesday morning. Good morning, cross camera. Just a couple of high clouds, and that's about it. The sun's been peaked out here for about 12, 13 minutes, so we're going to have some spectacular sunrises all this week, and sunset's really not too bad either. Just a couple of high clouds. Chilly, though. It's only 46 degrees outside of our studios. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley.
Boy, a lot of work going on in the streets during the nighttime, isn't
Yeah,
there?
which is, they got to get her done.
Well, I know. A lot of torn up streets that have to be paved. But
you know, it's funny you mention that because, you know, they've been doing this huge paving project on Mission all the way to Old Station and all the way to the George Sella Bridge. They're actually paving it backwards, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They're starting the paving project out in Old Station and working their way towards the bridge, so they're actually going the wrong way on Mission, which is fine. Whatever gets the job done. I'm not going to give them a ticket. Camera 2, Kat says, let's do a slow dissolve to, okay. This is a really slow dissolve. Go ahead and get your coffee, folks, and come back in about a half an hour.
There we are.
And that's the cross camera again. Is that the East Cross? It's that's still the cross camera. Technical difficulties, please.
There we go. Now we're zooming out.
That's jump off.
Jump off red.
Good morning, Stamil Basin. Good morning, Malaga, sometimes pronounced Malaga.
Anybody got any early tee times down there at Three Lakes?
Yeah, you gotta. This is when you tee off early. You're wearing long pants and a sweater, and by the time you're done, you're in shorts and a t-shirt. That's what happens this time of the year. Good morning, jump off ridge. Please do not jump off ridge. Camera 3 is a good shot of the Apple Andes camera.
Oh, that's a
Greater
gorgeous shot
Cashmere
this morning.
area there.
Looking in the distance at Mount Stewart.
We have another
search
Mount
and
Stewart
rescue up
story.
there.
Yeah, it's putting a real pinch on the sheriff's budget. We'll have that when Steve gets the news. Good morning, Kashmir, which used to be known as the early American town. They ditched that nickname about 20 years ago for reasons unknown. And finally, camera 4 is a shot of, now that's Mount Adams, so I'm saying that's probably Nanapoc Ridge.
Boy,
So there you go. That's,
wow, what a beautiful shot of Mount Adams.
and that looks like it would be a 4K camera, but it isn't. It just looks that pretty. Just phenomenal. Great shot there.
That's zoomed in.
Yeah, good stuff. Way to go, Cat.
Yeah, great shots.
Good job. 6.5 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service, your forecast, you're going to see a bunch of yellow globs, and that means sunshine. And lots of it. Sunshine on your screen makes you happy. 76 today, 80 Wednesday, 80 Thursday. That's warmer than normal. Yesterday's high 73. Normal for Monday, 73.
Oh.
Overnight low last night, 45. Normal 49. So the overnight lows are a little cooler, but warm daytime highs, cool in the evening. A cold front moves into the region Thursday night into Friday. Really not going to affect us a great deal.
No,
Other
obviously
locations could get a little bit of light rain, and other locations out in the Columbia Basin could get a little windy, but the Cascade Curtain is going to protect us Friday, although considerably cooler with a high of 75, still nothing but sunshine. Mostly sunny Saturday, 73, partly sunny Sunday, and a high of 70. Next chance of measurable rain, none. For us anyway. 20% chance of showers, and if that happens at all, it would be in the upper elevations. So things are looking very nice indeed as we are full swing now into autumn. So good stuff from the National Weather Service. Thank you to those folks. It's 7.5 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Steve Harra has the news. There's a lot of news to get through on this Tuesday.
Boy.
And Steve Harra will be handling those duties in 1 minute. The news brought to you by Cascade Medical, trained with a physical therapist who loves the outdoors as much as you do. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
The NCW Live Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Live Channel is your local TV station.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Welcome back to the program for this Tuesday. It's the 25th day of the month. Here's what's happening around north central Washington today. It was a busy fire season, along with extra search and rescue efforts. All of that combined have pushed the Chelan County Sheriff's Office overtime budget into the red. In fact, Eric Granstrom was at yesterday's county commissioner meeting, and he filed this report.
A couple of items of interest for the Chelan County Commissioners at their morning board meeting, with Sheriff Brian Burnett giving a report, first of all, on a busy week in search and rescue.
This is just a good example of it was a busy week, even though that, some things may not seem like it.
And some of them were insignificant and they worked themselves out on their own. But the initial call, someone will call and report, like this one, subject's not sure how to get out of an area. It eventually resolved itself, but you've got a deputy that has initial response. They're going to make some phone calls. They get tied up.
Now, when it comes to overtime, Sheriff Burnett says that they're over and still have another quarter of the year to go because of the Chelan County fires this summer and a change by the federal government.
But there's also the Cougar Creek what we call the pre-FMEG overtime, non-reimbursable, 479 hours at almost $25,000, and that's what I wanted Sergeant Sisson here this morning to talk a little bit about that.
Short story is, in the end, even though they had told us that they were going to bring the date back to the beginning of our activity up the Indiana Valley, they didn't do that.
Burnett says that change by FEMA without notice is certainly going to hit them in the pocketbook.
I don't blame it on the person that we're dealing with. Is they're an employee that's doing what they're told to do. And again, if they administratively, if they're changing some things, it'd be nice for us to know those things in the future. If that's the case, we report that money back to the commissioner's office, work with the county administrator to do a supplemental budget request.
Sheriff Burnett says they'll have to ask the county for extra money for the sheriff's department because the rest of the quarter is still at hand, as well as a very busy month in October for Leavenworth's Oktoberfest.
3 weekends of, multiple shifts. That could be a $40,000 to $50,000 overtime expenditure for the sheriff's office.
So the sheriff's department is asking for extra funding from Chelan County and will still work on trying to get reimbursement from the federal government. Here at the Chelan County Administrative Building in Wenatchee, I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Life Channel.
And again, we're going to have more on this story, including the expenses of search and rescue missions later tonight on our NCW Life Evening News with Grant Olson. Also, the state auditor's office says Douglas County failed to ensure highway contractors complied with federal wage laws. Contractors required under federal law to file weekly payroll reports showing their pay and that of subcontractors that they comply with the Davis-Bacon Act. When more than $2,000 in federal funds is used to pay for projects, that act requires workers on those projects be paid prevailing wages, usually at levels paid to union workers. But the county received more than $1 million from the federal government for the highway work. Auditors now say the county could be liable for making up any wage differences. The county responded that in the future it will not pay contractors until certified payrolls are received. Meanwhile, the audit also found other areas of material weakness in the county's accounting processes. Auditors will later review to make sure the county has corrected those identified problems. Elsewhere, the Wenatchee School Board members have tentatively selected an out-of-state firm to help the district find a new superintendent. The board voted yesterday 3-2 to begin contract negotiations with an Illinois-based company, Hazard, Young and Atea and Associates. The company is one of 4 competing for the contract. Board member Sunny Hemphill said she preferred to work with a company that was not from this area.
Wenatchee has changed so much in the past 10 to 15 years. We are a very different community than we were when I moved here in 1999 and when my children graduated high school in the mid-2000s. I just want someone to look at us with fresh eyes and see the community that we are right now.
Now, the board interviewed the 4 firms last week, but Laura Jakes and Walter Newman favored the proposal from Northwest Leadership Associates from Liberty Lake, just outside of Spokane. Jakes said she was impressed with their knowledge of the local school district and their record of success.
I like their timeline. March seemed like a realistic time frame and putting us ahead of the rest of the search process for other districts. They have 17 years of experience in Washington, 250 searches with a 98% 3+ year success rate.
Now, Monday's action is not the final decision. The district will now begin contract negotiations with the selected firm, with a final selection to be made at a future board meeting. And by the way, the school board holds its regular board meeting tonight at district headquarters in Wenatchee. Also, from yesterday's meeting, a local attorney describes a comment made recently by a member of the school board sexist. Jim Brown submitted a letter to the board that calls for Sarah Knox to be disqualified from voting on hiring a consulting firm in that search for a new superintendent after she said one of the firms hires old white men. Brown references the September 17th board workshop at which Knox said she considered a firm unqualified because the firm employed old white men. In her words, Brown labeled the comment as racist, sexist, and age discriminatory, made in the context of diversity. He suggested that Knox attend sensitivity training. Brown also cautioned the board that it faced possible litigation with respect to illegal discrimination in public contracting. He called on Knox to apologize for her comments and that she should consider resigning from the board. Knox responded to the letter at Monday's special board meeting.
I did misspeak, And I am selfishly hoping that everyone in here has said at least one thing that when you lay in bed at night and you go, oh, I chose the wrong word. And so I appreciate that you still see the best in me. And I look forward to the opportunity to prove to everyone my professionalism, that my inappropriate turn of phrase or my, I was trying to be concise and condense and make a point. And
it had been a long day and we were all a little goofy.
And so I'm looking forward to showing my professionalism.
Now, Brown's letter prompted board discussion concerning the district's hiring policies as they relate to diversity. Board member Laura Jakes commented.
And if we look at the composition of the board right now, we are 4 females, 1 male. We do have a little bit of age diversity, but we are all light-skinned people. And we cannot prevent our own biases from influencing our perspective and our discussion and our decision-making. It is important not only in the search for a superintendent, but it is important for the composition ultimately of the board, the staff. You mentioned ratios. I don't know if you have those figures, but there was an implication that we're off balance, but I'd like to see more information about whether or not that's true.
Brown's letter was entered into the public record, although the board took no action in response. Again, the board did take action in the tentative selection of an Illinois-based firm to conduct the search for a new superintendent. Final decision on that contract is due at a later date. Embattled Washington State House Representative Matt Manueller has announced that if elected in the upcoming election, he will not serve. The Republican lawmaker, who was recently terminated from his teaching post at Central Washington University as a result of an investigation into claims he sexually assaulted a student, says he will not serve another term in the legislature. Manueller is on the November ballot against Democrat Sylvia Hammond. He says in a prepared statement that if he's elected, he plans to resign. Manueller was asked to resign by party leaders in response to new allegations he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old high school student in 1997 when he was 27 years old. He has denied those accusations as well. Well, the controversy involving the U.S. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh is causing a fair amount of discord here in the Wenatchee Valley. Following an editorial written by Wenatchee World publisher Jeff Ackerman in Sunday's paper, Ackerman takes issue with the confirmation process and what he calls, quote, one of the ugliest displays of partisanship I have ever seen, end quote. Ackerman also questions the allegations of the woman who claimed Kavanaugh assaulted her 36 years ago. Sue Ellen Harris with the group Indivisible Wenatchee helped organize that protest.
We are here protesting Jeff Ackerman's Sunday editorial trivializing sexual assault. Mr. Ackerman chose to compare sexual assault reported by having happened to a 15-year-old girl to a list of 10 things that included cheating at golf, sipping your father's vodka, opening your Christmas presents early. There were 7 others. None of these even remotely has the weight of a sexual assault. We think he's tone deaf. We think he's insulted the women and men of North Central Washington. He deserves a reprimand from WIC Communications, his boss, and he should print a retraction and an apology.
Monday's protest attracted over 100 sign-waving demonstrators to the sidewalk on Mission Street, right there in front of the newspaper. Also, today is a National Voter Registration Day. Volunteers will be signing people up in Chelan and Manson later this afternoon. According to our friends at Lake Chelan Dow, the volunteers will be set up at 4 locations: at the Manson Red Apple, also at Chelan IGA Market, the Vogue, and then also at the Chelan Food Bank. We're also told that Wenatchee Valley College having a special registration day in front of Van Tassel Hall there at the fountain. National Voter Registration Day was declared in 2012 as a nonpartisan, nationwide, one-day effort to register voters and make sure no one misses the opportunity to vote in the upcoming election. This year's goal is to increase voter participation in the 2018 midterm elections throughout Chelan and Manson areas. Also, in closing this morning, I wanted to share this little photo with you. This was shared with us on our Facebook page by the Eastmont School District, and specifically we're talking Cascade Elementary School. In Mrs. Mott's class at the beginning of the week, they introduce a quote that the kids found. Now, that person who brought the quote then watches during the week to find the classmate that represents the quote the most. And here it is. This past week, they focused on using what they call their struggle muscle. And here's little Trevin, one of the students who was apparently best matched up with that quote. Trevin works super hard without complaining, according to his teacher, Mrs. Mott. So that's kind of cute. If at first you don't succeed, you're normal. I like that quote.
Or you can go to work here.
That's right, yeah.
Have a number of openings.
I like that.
Quick little note, we didn't mention this at the top of the hour. I'll mention it now. The baseball playoffs, which will begin 1 week from today. My favorite, you know, I love the baseball playoffs. I love baseball. Playoffs are my favorite time of the year. October, if you're a sports fan, is an insanely great time of the year.
Unless you're a Mariner or
fan,
yeah.
American League is now set. It's done. It's Boston, it's Cleveland, it's Houston, it's the Yankees, and it's the A's. That's the 5 teams for the American League are in the playoffs. National League, there's only one team that's clinched a playoff berth with 6 games to go.
Yeah.
One team has punched their ticket in the National League. That's it. The Braves are in. We don't know where the Cubs, the Brewers, the Cardinals, the Dodgers, or the Rockies are going to end up yet. One of those teams is going to be eliminated, by the way.
That's great, though. Great for baseball.
Oh, it's fantastic for baseball. It really is. Our national pastime.
You know, the Mariners are having a good season. I mean, you know, when all is said and done, I think they could end up with 90 wins, maybe. You know, so that's not a bad season.
There's 2 seasons, playoffs or not playoffs, and they didn't make the playoffs, and they had their hopes set on making the playoffs. The too many one-run games, that comes back to get you. It does, because they won all those one-run games, but that's simply unsustainable in the world of baseball. Your IFP fell out of your ears, Steve.
I know, it's okay. I don't need to listen to you.
The news with Grant Olson comes your way 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10 are your 3 chances to check out the news on this very television station. You can also watch it on demand by going to our website about 5:30 or so. You can watch it on demand by going to our Facebook page, again about 5:30 or so. And if you want to be a part of our news team, don't touch that, Steve. Get a hold of us. Steve, do the honors.
Oh, yes. You can contact us at our website, ncwlife.com. Little tab at the top of the page says Contact Us. Pretty simple. Facebook, Twitter, always a good mode of conversation here at NCW Life. And, of course, we have our email address at ncwlife.com. That's news at ncwlife.com. I beg your pardon. And then finally, our breaking news hotline, always available to you at 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. Must be Tuesday.
I'm a little worried about you. I don't know if you're going to get anything done today. He's in a goofy mood.
I am.
23 minutes after the hour.
My wife loves me.
Well, that makes 2. Because I love you, Steve. Sports, the obscure holiday today, and history birthdays. Everybody is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion, and the annual Youth Hunting and Fishing Day coming up this weekend at the Gun Club on Saturday. And my conversation with Sherry Poppy, still to be heard between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up in Anchi Valley, and we haven't been canceled yet on the NCW Life channel.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley. Christian Shaman here with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Let us make your dream of home ownership a reality. We're here to guide you through the loan process every step of the way. Check out our convenient online application. Bay Equity Home Loans in Wenatchee, your home for loans.
Stop on by or give us a call today.
And we're back at just about 25 after the hour. Let's do sports. Seahawks announced yesterday that Chuck Arnold is the new team president. He'd been the chief operating officer since 2013. He's been with the organization since 1994. He said that being a Seahawks fan for life, it is a dream come true.
What an honor this is for me. I grew up at 12. I can remember driving up from Tacoma to the Kingdome, watching games. I used to rock a Steve Largent jersey. I remember making lots of noise. I also went to college locally. I went to Washington State University. And I remember my senior year applying for an internship at the Seattle Seahawks in 1994. Since then, I've spent the past 25 seasons with the team, growing and being part of almost every department in this organization. So as you could say, I've been connected to this team for my entire life.
The move is being called, it's basically a new management structure for Vulcan Sports and Entertainment. That's the company that oversees all of Paul Allen's professional sports franchises. Besides Arnold becoming team president, Chris McGowan replaces Pete McLaughlin, who was the CEO of Vulcan. According to the team, McLaughlin left the organization by mutual agreement. So meanwhile, let's go football. Of course, Seahawks still celebrating their nice win Sunday over the Cowboys. Now it's preparations for Arizona this week down in the desert. Coach Pete Carroll says he finally saw some signs of what he wants this team to be.
Really good things happened, but most importantly, we saw what we can look like. And the first couple of weeks, it just didn't look right, and we were off, and the balance that we brought out and really was featured by the running game and the efforts and Shotty's job of calling the run really made things fit together really well. So it's a good start, and really feels like the season just started, and we're going to try to get cranking from here with a big division matchup coming up with Arizona.
Our looming question mark remains Earl Thomas. He had a good game, couple of interceptions Sunday, key defender in Seattle's victory over the Cowboys. Yet he said after the game, Earl Thomas said that he's not happy, will not practice every day. Carroll says they're working with Thomas on his position as they move forward.
I don't know. He played a real healthy football game and did a good job. And we're working through it. There's concerns. He has concerns about the business side of things, and very well noted. And I understand. I get it. And we're working through stuff, and he's doing a nice job, representing on the field and trying to do the best he can. And like I said, he had a great time playing football yesterday, and he's enjoyed every one of these games. He's been very active all 3 games, and has had good opportunities, and he's trying to max them out. So
1-3 Seahawks, 0-3 Cardinals in Arizona, 105 on Sunday. Well, you hate to see the opposing team celebrate in your house. That was the case yesterday for the Oakland Athletics at Safeco Field. The A's clinched the 5th and final playoff spot in the American League before Seattle even played a game. That's because the Yankees eliminated the Rays. Following the A's victory, this was the scene in the visitors' clubhouse.
So champagne awaits that group as they turn right and head into the clubhouse. Chris Davis, MVP candidate. What a group, and well-deserved. They have been the best team in baseball record-wise since the middle of June. So they deserve this as much as any team in baseball. They have been awesome.
Wow, looks like our monthly staff meeting. Oakland still has a chance, by the way, to catch Houston for the division title. Probably not going to happen, but they are back in the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. Last night's win, by the way, Oakland got home runs from Jonathan Lucroy, Jed Lowry, Chris Davis, and Matt Chapman. For the Mariners, a couple of home runs. Robinson Cano had a dinger, so did D. Gordon, but of course, obviously wasn't enough. James Paxton back after being on the DL. He went 4 innings. He allowed 2 runs, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts. Seattle and Oakland plays again today at 7:10. Good seats still available. To the division we go on the Les Schwab scoreboard. Houston's magic number to clinch the West is 2. They knocked over Toronto. The final was 5-3. And as you can see there, the Angels outlasted the Rangers in Anaheim 5-4. Prep schedule. Lots going on today. It's soccer on Tuesdays. What do you got? You got Manson hosting Brewster. You got Chelan at Okanagan. You got Davis hosting Eastmont. Cascade is at Cashmere. Wenatchee will host West Valley. Leave off the field at the Apple Bowl at 7 o'clock tonight. Volleyball. It begins at 5:30. Cascade Christian travels to Easton. Aniad is at Wilson Creek. Manson hosts Tenasco. Waterville Mansfield's at Brewster. Cashmere hosts Cascade. Chelan is at Okanagan. All of those at 6:30. At 7 o'clock tonight, we will be there at Eastmont High School. It's the Panthers and the Wildcats. Eric Grandstrom courtside. 6:50 pregame, 7 o'clock first serve. And finally, everybody into the pool. It's Wenatchee and Eastmont in girls swimming and diving beginning at 4. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 30 after the hour. It's time for the Obscure Holiday, and it's Comic Book Day today. There's a nice little montage of comic books. Historians believe the very first comic book, now remember, comics go back many, many thousands of years, but comic books, they believe the first one was in 1837. It was called The Adventures of Mr. Odebiah Oldbuck. It was written by a Swiss writer. That they believe was the very first comic book. The 1930s were a golden year for comic books, with the introduction of Superman and then finally Batman and Wonder Woman and Captain America. Now, of course, comic books are much darker with real world problems, corruption and disasters and all that bad stuff. So now it's the dark ages of comic books, but it's a huge industry. By the way, fun fact about comics, Stan Lee created the Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk was supposed to be gray, but when they printed the first edition of the Incredible Hulk, it turned out green because of a printer's error, and the Incredible Hulk has been green ever since. Happy Comic Book Day. I haven't read one in a while. Let's do Today in History. I love that parchment, by the way. That's a nice touch. 229 years ago, the United States Congress passed the first 12 amendments to the United States Constitution. The Congressional Appointment Amendment, that was never ratified, by the way. The Congressional Compensation Amendment, which was finally ratified in 1992, and the other 10 amendments that are known collectively today as the Bill of Rights. Congress passed it, and it was off to the states for ratification, and by golly, they did. It happened on this date 229 years ago. This is the 40th anniversary, and they're going to have some ceremonies and commemorations in San Diego of this bizarre plane crash. PSA Flight 182, a Boeing 727, was getting ready to land at the airport in San Diego, and there was a Cessna below it and in front of it, and they didn't see it. There was miscommunication, so the Cessna and the big plane kind of went boom right into the top of the Cessna. Both planes crashed into a San Diego neighborhood. 7 people on the ground were killed. Happened on this date 40 years ago today in San Diego. And September 25th, 1980, 38 years ago today, you're not reading, that's not a misprint. John Bonham, Bonzo, the drummer with Led Zeppelin, dies at the age of 32. He asphyxiated on his own vomit at Jimmy Page's house after drinking 40 shots of vodka in 4 hours. That'll do it. Happened on this date 38 years ago. And finally, let's do some birthdays. I got some historic birthdays for you. One, Phil Rizzuto. Holy cow! Phil Rizzuto, the Scooter Baseball Hall of Fame class of 1994, spent 40 years with the broadcasting team of the New York Yankees, the American League MVP of 1950. Phil Rizzuto was born on this date 101 years ago. That's Scooter. We miss Phil Rizzuto. Michael Douglas is 74 years old today. He was the producer of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Nobody would make the film, so he said, I'll write the check. The China Syndrome, Romancing the Stone was a great movie. Fatal Attraction, Wall Street, of course, he won an Oscar for that. Michael Douglas is 74 years old today. His wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, is 49 years old today. They celebrate a joint birthday. She hasn't been doing much lately that I can tell. America's very first supermodel, Cheryl Tiegs, is 71 years old today. She's looking pretty good for 71. And finally, Donald Glover, the actor, the rapper, the producer, the screenwriter. He's a multi-talented dude. There he is. There's Donald Glover. He's 35 years old today. It's 33 minutes after the hour. Everybody is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. And then my conversation with Sherry Poppy. The Youth Hunting and Fishing Day is a big event. Get your kids outdoors. Get them into being outdoors and doing things. Sherry Poppy for the Wenatchee Sportsman's Club. Coming up in the second half of this program, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
As the leaves change their colors, Leavenworth prepares for their fall celebration, the Autumn Leaf Festival. All weekend, your family can enjoy many activities, including dancing, live music, inflatables, and the Grand Parade Saturday at noon. Please thank our sponsors who supported this message.
Icicle Brewing Company, your beer from here. Check them out downtown on Front Street or on the web at iciclebrewing.com. Eating and drinking keeps body and soul together, an old Bavarian saying. Check us out on Front Street or on the web at munchenhouse.com.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Just as the cool mornings and evenings are returning to our valley, Carrier and Alpine Air are offering best-in-class rebates and promotions to keep your home comfortable and safe this winter. Call for your free estimate today. Ask about rebates to $1,650 and low interest, low payment financing. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call 662-6846. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Fall is in the air and so is the aroma of sizzling bratwurst. It's time once again for the Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Enjoy 3 full weekends of fun for everyone. Your thirst will be satisfied with a variety of authentic German beer, and your hunger will be filled with German brats right off the grill. The sounds of Oompa will be delivered in 4 venues with live non-stop entertainment. For information or to purchase tickets, go on to LeavenworthOktoberfest.com.
Did you know that our pets can put on extra weight just like us? Obesity is the most common preventable disease in dogs and cats. Your pet's excess weight can lead to health issues like joint pain, arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, and more. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinarian Hospital care about your pets, and they can help you keep them lean and healthy. Call Paws and Claws today at 888-PAWS or find them on the corner of 4th and Isle in East Wenatchee.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I had two brothers, one older and one younger, and we always shared a bedroom. And we made a mess. Yes, we did. And I believe me. And my mom, she was pretty strict about us cleaning up. Well, she tried to be anyway. She'd yell at us, and she'd storm around with this butt paddle that she called the persuader. And sometimes she'd use it. Yeah, okay. But once she got so fed up with us three guys that she said she was going to clean up our room, but she was going to charge us to do so. So one day she cleaned up the room and she left us with a note that said, "Boys, I cleaned up your room and I charged you 5 cents an item." Now remember, this was back in the early 60s. She said, "You boys owe me 85 cents. So we left her $1 and said, "Hey, keep the change, Mom. Keep up the good work." Oh, not a smart move on our parts. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. Hands Across the Bridge is this Saturday from noon to 5:30 at the Walking Bridge in Walla Walla Point Park for National Recovery Month. Speakers and food will be in the park after. Saturday and Sunday is the Autumn Leaf Festival and Parade in downtown Leavenworth. Bring the family to this free event celebrating the turning colors. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
As the leaves change their colors, Leavenworth prepares for their fall celebration, the Autumn Leaf Festival. All weekend, your family can enjoy many activities, including dancing, live music, inflatables, and the Grand Parade Saturday at noon. Please thank our sponsors who supported this message.
Praise Fruit Barn offers a wide variety of fresh fruit and vegetables, from sweet, crisp apples to tree-ripened Asian pears. Your party is the place to be with a sensational cheese tray from the Cheesemonger with cheese from around the world.
This Saturday, the 29th of September, the place to be is the North Central Washington Gun Club up on Fancher Heights for any number of reasons, but specifically this reason. It's the third annual Kids Hunting and Fishing Day, and it's the second annual one that's been put on with conjunction for the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association. And here to talk about that is a member of the board of the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association, making her very first appearance on this program. Please welcome Sherry Puppy. Hi, Sherry.
Hello. Nice
Welcome
to
the
meet
program.
you. Yes.
You're a
be
first
here.
timer, so all first timers, Sherry, get the same question to begin with. A little something about yourself. Tell folks introduce folks to Sherry.
I drive school bus for Eastmont School District, and I'm on my 43rd year of doing that for Eastmont. Belonged to the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association for about 12, 13 years, just ever since they decided to let women belong. It was always a good old boys club, and that kind of changed into being, especially for the youth, trying to get them involved and take care of them and make sure that our heritage of wildlife and all of that stays, with us.
Do the kids still sing "Hail to the Bus Driver"? Hail to the bus driver.
Actually, the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Is that
Oh dear, yes. Yeah, so that's what I do.
43 years driving to school bus?
I am.
You must like it, and you must be good at it.
Well, I either like it or I'm really crazy or stupid or something. But no, I do enjoy it. It's different every day. The kids keep you young.
Mm-hmm.
You get so you know kind of what's going on with the youth and what they're involved in, what you wish they wouldn't be involved in.
Yeah.
My boys I raised them, and I was driving school bus. So the thing about having a bus driver for a mom and you're in school is you have lots of eyes on you because all the other bus drivers know who you are, what your car is, where you're at, so you keep an eye on them.
And you're really the gatekeeper. The first person that they see each morning on their way to school is a school employee, and the last person they see is a school employee.
That's right.
So the continuity is probably comforting, I suppose, for the kids.
It is. And I have had almost the same exact route for all those years. So I'm on at least third generation of kids, and I go to Rock Island back and forth, which is kind of the dead end kids thing. And all the parents know me and I know them, and it makes it easier to do it that way.
Well, 3 years ago, the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife hosted the North Central Washington Youth Hunting and Fishing Day. It went pretty good, but they realized that this event needed a shot in the arm, and you got together, your organization, the Wenatchee Sportsman's Club, got together with Fish and Wildlife and said, we'd like to be a part of it. And boy, did it just take off last year, didn't it?
It
was
did.
a huge success.
It was tremendous. We had about 80 kids the first year, and of course there was parents and stuff too that came along. When we put it on then ourselves, and the Department of Fish and Wildlife is still there, they're with us. They do it every year, but they do it like on the east side of the mountains one year and the next year the west and back and forth. And we decided that this needed to be here every single year and get the kids outside and get them doing, activities that they're kind of missing out on anymore, whether it be parents busy or whatever. So anyway, last year we said, okay, well, we'll plan on 250, and it went far and above that. We ran out of stuff. We had to go get more things. There's at
That's
least
the kind of problem you want, Sherry.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I'm hoping this year we're actually planning on 500.
Wow.
All the kids that come, we have gotten like 300 little backpack string bags, and it'll be filled with goodies, so they'll get those. Their parents, everybody's can come and have a hot dog with us for a lunch and water and stuff, but there is like 27, I think, booths or activities that will be going on up there.
Going outdoors and doing outdoor stuff, be it fishing or fly casting or archery or traditional hunting or whatever the case may be, is almost always a family thing. You did it because your dad took you fishing and hunting, and his dad took him fishing and hunting. This is a great opportunity. If you have a kid out there all the way to the age of 16 that might be interested, because you maybe not do it. I've never hunted and fished, but my kid might like it. The least you could do is show up and see if your kid might like it.
That's exactly right. If they haven't been exposed to it, how are they going to know whether they like it or not? And what we have is actually a lot of single moms that will bring their kids, and the moms get involved. My husband and I also teach hunter ed gun safety classes. We have a lot of single moms that are bringing their kids, and they will take the class with them. So this is a good place for them that maybe they're newly singled or whatever, and they just don't know how to go about doing this stuff. So come on up and try out some of this, and one or the other thing perhaps will click and the kids will get involved.
And that's really the whole idea. Plant that seed, get them out there early.
It is.
Because this is such a beautiful area that we live in. It's a no-brainer to be doing something outdoors. It could be trap shooting, for crying out loud. It's just a matter of getting outside, hiking. It doesn't just get out there and do it.
That's right. And everybody associates us with a hunting club, and that is not what we're about at all. It's not that some of us don't hunt, but that's not what we are. Our mission statement is that we're dedicated to the conservation and enhancement of fish and wildlife and their habitats for the benefit of current and future generations. So we're out there speaking up for the wildlife because they have no voice, and trying to keep things so that the future generations will also have access to it.
I know Department of Fish and Wildlife keeps hard numbers on how many people each year get a fishing license, how many people get a hunting license. It's either flat or has really tailed off in the last few years, hasn't it?
It has, for whatever reason. Fires have a lot to do with what's going on, for sure. And we're out in the hills we put in sometimes up to 2,000 volunteer hours up in the hills to helping take care of the wildlife and or replacing things after fires and so on that we have out there. So fires play a big role in that, where it pushes the animals to different locations. If the habitat is gone, of course the animals are gone. So we're out there helping restore some of that and getting them back. Dollars and cents is another thing. That's huge. In order to make these things work, of course, the department has to have the dollars and cents. And so it raises everything, whether it be the licenses for everything. But there are so many opportunities. And you know, even if you never hunt and or fish, come on up and try out some of the activities. There's other shooting activities. You don't have to hunt.
No, you don't.
There's bow and arrow, and I do traditional archery myself. And the archery in the schools, there's one in East Wenatchee, one in Wenatchee, and we're actually going to have kids there from the programs that are going to be helping kids learn how to do archery.
Well, let's go with that. Let's talk about it. This whole thing is underway again at 10 o'clock on Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning at the North Central Washington Gun Club up on Fancher Heights. People are going to show up. What's going to happen? What do they do? Do they go through all that stuff? Give me the meat and potatoes.
Okay,
Sherry.
they're going to check in at our booth. They're going to get a backpack. They're going to get some raffle tickets because we're going to have some drawings that day too. They're going to get a report card kind of thing that they'll get stamped at the different booths, and they turn that in. They'll be eligible for other raffle prizes. There's a couple of grand prizes. We've gotten monetary donations from several different organizations. $2,000 from Rocky Mountain Elk donated to help us put this on. So we've taken some of the monies that we've gotten and bought some raffle prizes. So they will check in there. They'll also get a ticket, and everybody that comes in will get a ticket to go and have a hot dog lunch sometime during their
So you're going to feed
day.
them?
We're going to feed them. We are. That's part of what I'm going to be doing, is throwing out hot dogs like crazy. But there's shooting. There's going to be rifle. The Department of Fish and Wildlife will be there with their hunter ed people. And they'll be able to try and shoot a .22 or a .223 or a shotgun. They'll do some trap shooting. Ducks Unlimited will be there, and they'll teach some calling. So there's all kinds of different booths that'll be going on. Department of Fish and Wildlife, their tip trailer will be there. I'm hoping their dogs will be there, their bear dogs. We tried to get Youth Outdoor Unlimited there, which is a group out of Moses Lake that's for handicapped kids. And by the way, if you're handicapped, come on out.
Not a problem.
That's right. And there's lots of opportunities for handicapped kids too. So
and the kids can go to any booth they want whenever they want.
Yes.
If you want to show up and say, I just want to shoot a bow and arrow at a target, you can beeline right there.
That's right. That's right. You don't have to do them all, but if you do them all and you get your little report card filled out, you're eligible for some prizes.
This is for kids, of course, and we're talking kids who are old enough to be moderately responsible, up to about 16.
Yes.
Right? That's your definition of kids.
Right.
What about the people who are manning their booths? Where did you find the fly casting guys and the hunter education people?
Part of our club, a lot of the guys belong to a lot of these groups. So we kind of go from there, and they talk to their groups and fan out. And during the sportsman show that we have in the spring, we've talked to different groups there, but we're in contact with a lot of the groups and involved in a lot of the groups with them. We go out with the Rocky Mountain Elk. They do a lot of work up in the Clockham area and stuff. So we're involved and have people that belong to these groups. And then we're even going to have Lamb Weston there handing out French fries, and that's kind of an interesting story, because last year at Kids Fishing Day in Rock Island, which we're involved in, there was Lamb Weston in their big truck, and they're handing out free French fries, and I went, whoa, and so I made a beeline over there. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. So they're going to be there handing out free French fries. So that's how we do it. We just see people. We're involved in all kinds of activities, and when we see somebody that we think would be interested or a good fit for this, we say, hey, would you like to get involved? And 99% of the time, they do. As
somebody who spends a lot of time outdoors, and I grew up, in an outdoor setting. My dad took us fishing, that kind of deal. In today's Xbox One, smartphone, lots of stimulation for the younger generation. Is the future of going outdoors and hunting and fishing and hiking and learning about wildlife or bird watching or whatever it is, does the future of that concern you with what's going on now?
It does, and that's why we're involved. That's why a lot of us are involved and getting more involved in these kind of activities. I see it I drive school bus. I see these kids sitting there going to school doing this. And the interaction between them is getting less and less. It's like, well, you've got a kid sitting next to you. Are you talking to them? No. You know what they're doing is texting each other. And it's like, they're losing the art of communication and visually looking at someone and knowing, what's going on with them. They're just losing this. And you get out into wildlife and you kind of get together that way in that you need each other to support for different activities. So learning and different personalities, things like that. So it does bother me, and we discuss this quite a bit at our club meetings and even just amongst ourselves. And this is why we really want this to go and really trying to get the kids out there to
well,
do
letting
something
women
else.
in was a darn good idea to begin with.
Yeah, that's what we thought too. And you know what? Once they did, they decided, hey, those gals can organize and do stuff. So we have about 3 or 4 women that are really involved as far as going out into the hills and doing stuff. And I'm out there. I'd rather be doing that than cleaning house any day. So I'm out there as much as I can be. There's a couple of other gals that do the same thing. And you know what? The guys accepted us really well. As long as they see that we can get out there and we'll pick up a hammer or get dirty or whatever and not whine, they're for it. And they accepted us really well. And then we have a lot of the women that just get involved in things like this and some of the other activities. We have our game feed and they'll do that. And just the support from them.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little plug for the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association, which really should now be called the Wenatchee Sports People's Association. We won't get into gender right now.
We haven't started on that one yet.
I'll give you a little plug. My former stepson, about 10 or 11 years, when he was about 10 or 11, decided he might be interested in hunting. And we knew nothing about it. Just didn't, it wasn't it was in my DNA, but I just, I'm sorry, I don't know enough about gun safety and gun, the way to get into it in a responsible way. I turned him over to you guys because I trust the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association, and he took the gun safety classes. I basically said, this is Chase, he's 11, he thinks he might want to hunt, and I turned him over to you guys, and you guys did a whiz-bang 5-star job on him.
We do. We take care of our youth. We really do. And we have guys that will mentor young people that will take them out and do a hunt if mom and dad don't want to, whatever, but the kid does. We have ones that'll mentor them and take them out and do some hunting. And we also do releasing of pheasants for youth on certain days and stuff to get them involved in that. And so, no, we really are involved with youth. We also send kids to a camp in the summertime that's over, I want to say in the Port Townsend area, whatever. There's a youth camp, and we send some kids over there every year, too. If you're a member and want your kid to go to this camp.
It starts at 10 o'clock, it goes till 3 o'clock. Believe me, if you show up at 2:45, they're not going to throw you out of the joint. It's at the gun club up there, of course, by the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Stay with me. Fly tying and casting, firearm safety, hunter education, habitat conservation, which I love, target shooting, local wildlife education, wild game processing, backcountry necessities, game calling, trap shooting, archery practice. Whew, that's a lot. And here's the best part of all. Sherry, how much does this cost?
Nothing. Absolutely free. There's not a thing, no way, shape, or form are you going to spend a penny. Just as long as you get yourself up there, you're going to get into everything. And before I do anything else, I really want to thank all of the people that are going to be there, as far as we have, like I said, 27 different groups that are going to be there. Without them, we couldn't make this happen. And the people that are donating and all of the the volunteers that are going to be up there to help put this on, thank you, thank you. I mean, it's huge. It really is, and it's getting bigger, and we hope to make it bigger every year.
Well, having Fish and Wildlife team up with you folks is a perfect marriage, because it's working out really well.
It is. And the Forest Service is going to be there too. So Chelan PUD, there's bunches of them.
Even if your kid is just the least bit curious about enjoying the outdoors, I mean, for goodness gracious, this beautiful area that we live in. You can drive 20 minutes and be out in the middle of nowhere. You could be outdoors. Go to this. And you know what? You may even meet a celebrity, because I happen to know that celebrity is going to be there.
Really?
Our very own Eric Cranstrom.
Oh,
will be there.
Yes.
So
yes.
That's
right. He is.
That's worth the price of admission.
Yep.
Did we touch on anything? More questions? You guys have a Facebook page, all that stuff?
We have a website.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page. Just go on Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association, and it's www.wsa sssoc.org, and
Just
there's
Google
a
it.
Facebook.
That's
yeah,
what I did.
just Google it. That's right.
I can't remember
And
all those.
by all means, girls,
yes,
come see us too. It's not just for boys.
Yeah.
It's for girls too. And there is a lot of them that come and try this, especially the shooting. It's amazing how much better a lot of the girls are at shooting than the boys. One of the things that the schools do, I know our FFA has a trap shooting group that go out, and we have had kids from Eastmont be in the national finals of trap shooting. So, girls, get out there.
It's free.
It's
It's free, and it's you know, take the kid up there and see, and they're going to smile. They're going to have a good time, and maybe, just maybe, you'll plant that seed to put away the Xbox and go outside and go in the outdoors and enjoy this beautiful area. Get them going early, and it works, doesn't it, Sherry?
Yes, it does. It
I know
does.
you have to go drive the bus.
I do.
Yes,
I do.
Hail to the bus woman. Bus woman.
I got them there. I got to take them home. So there you go.
You're watching Wake Up in Ashley Valley. Again, the whole thing is this Saturday at the Gun Club from 10 o'clock until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And no, they won't run out of food. You're watching Wake Up in Ashley Valley. We'll be right back.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas, and introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniac. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. The annual Dahlia Show is this Saturday and Sunday at Pybus Market. Come see the state's best collection of dahlias at this free event. Also at Pybus is Sage's Child Advocacy Center When I Grow Up 5K Fun Run and Walk. It's happening on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Join me for Life with Lisa Bradshaw on NCW Life. It's not about my life, it's about yours.
And we're back live here from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. I'm Dan Kuntz. Before we call into Tuesday, let's take a look at your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. And I think you're going to like this. 76 today. That's a little bit above normal. 80 Wednesday. 80 Thursday. It's been, 3.5 weeks since we've seen 80 degrees. We went through quite a bit of a cool spell, but not a lot of rain. In fact, almost no rain at all. Little cold front comes in on Friday. It's going to cool us down a little bit. And then, of course, as you can see, Saturday and Sunday, fairly sunny skies. Just a slight chance of some really light rain in the upper elevations coming your way on Sunday and spilling into Monday. But boy, the next 4 days, this look absolutely fantastic indeed. Good looking weather forecast. Get out and enjoy it, but you'll notice these afternoon lows or these overnight lows are a little on the chilly side. Cool indeed. On this program tomorrow, Aaron Cass and Karen Rutherford, the traditional bra chandelier. It will be under construction. They're here to talk about that. It'll be a great conversation. That's on Wednesday's show. Thursday, our good friend Alan Moen will be dropping by to chit-chat with Alan. We got a lot of things going on there. Busy show Friday, all of next week. Lots of things going on wherever you go, of course, throughout the course of the day. Take us along. We're portable. We're the NCW Life Channel. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.